Gentlemen, apologies for the delay again. Of being sick all week combined with a lot of stuff going on the last couple days just didn't give me a chance to get this done. But you know, it gave me some inspiration. I'm excited. I'm gonna hurry up and get through this first cocktail because I think it's a specialty cocktail in honor of my disposed of opponent. Will be more fun. So the cocktail for the last week that we're doing on this Sunday is the Fancy Free. I think you guys might have, it's possible, I don't know for sure, it's possible that I'm pretty sure, I could look it up I guess, or I could have beforehand. But I've made a couple, like the Fancy cocktail, which is like an old fashioned but with orange liqueur in it. I believe there's also something called, let me think here. I think there was another drink also that was like fancy, One Chance Fancy, I think it was called, which is like a tequila drink. And this is in that spirit of things. This is the Fancy Free, and it's essentially an old-fashioned made with maraschino liqueur instead of simple syrup. So, yeah, we're gonna get started, and I'm gonna answer some questions. All right, first things first is a couple dashes of bitters, orange and Angostura is what I'm using, but obviously use whatever you want. And Brian's the only one who had questions this week, which is fine because I was very late with the video anyway. So this is a little, the question is a little evergreen. Or is it the opposite of evergreen? I can't remember now. Does evergreen mean that it's dated, I guess? Anyway, what's your plan for this game looking like this week? What tailgate beer are you going with? Which is funny because obviously I didn't tailgate the Minnesota-Purdue game, even though it was a homecoming game. In fact, we kind of got there late because parking sucks around that stadium. And it's one of those fun things where it's like, oh yeah, this is like a major city that this college is in, which means it's like there's not a lot of dedicated like college related parking and stuff for the game. Anyway, so that was kind of a pain in the ass, but it was cool because we got to sit up like in some fancy section. These are free tickets that Karen got from work, and it was with like a lot of like pretty diehard Minnesota fans. So it was kind of fun for me to see how like every call that was clearly not a bad call, they all thought was a bad call. I don't know, it was kind of fun to watch it from that point of view. I'm usually on that side of the other side of things, the fan side of things when I go to a game. Anyway, it was a good game. No tailgate beer though. Are you planning on getting a bottle of LeBron James Hennessy collab? No, I'm not. I'm pretty happy with my current supply of cognac. I pretty much just stick with that Ferrer Pier, whatever it's called. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head because I'm not very good with names. But anyway, that's the one I go with. In fact, if I don't go with that one, there's a really good German, like West German brandy. That's basically German cognac. It's really good. I like it quite a bit. So those are kind of my main ones. All right, anyway, got the bitters in. Let's get the maraschino liqueur in. Half an ounce. Plus, I don't know, celeb collabs with alcohol, you know, it's a you know, just a money heist for these celebs. I'm sure it's not bad cognac or bad brandy, but I'm sure it's not as good as whatever they're going to charge for it is compared to just like regular Hennessy or regular cognac. So whatever, people do their thing. And then 2 ounces of bourbon or whatever whiskey you have on hand. I will be using bourbon for this. And then one last question from Brian, and it is the last question that I've received for the video, is if you're going to a place that's not a quote-unquote cocktail place, what's my go-to cocktail, or is it a beer? I mean, that depends. If it's not a cocktail place, but it's a beer place, then I will have a beer, you know, because it just seems silly not to. Otherwise, it's probably a dive bar that doesn't really care much for their, like, they don't have special drinks necessarily or anything. I think about, like, I went to the, what was it, the Fox Head, I think it's called, back in Iowa City, the big writers bar. I went there once with some friends, and I remember my friend Ben's girlfriend wanted to get shots and was asking about like, oh, what kind of shots can you make? And the bartenders, they were like, we can make a rum shot or a vodka shot or a tequila shot. Like that's the kind of bar where if you want a cocktail, you're gonna be out of luck probably. And if that's the case, I used to drink a lot of whiskey and Cokes or whiskey and diets. But that was mostly just because I wanted to get drunk. I'm not sure I would do that this time around. I'm a fan of vodka soda, actually. You know, if they have anything other than like Smirnoff or anything other than like bottom level Popov, like if they have something better than Popov, I'll get that with a little soda and some like a lemon twist or a lemon wedge. Most even dive bars have that. Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much. You're always good with like any sort of a highball, you know, which is what you would classify like any sort of liquor with a soda type thing, you know. Gin and tonic's a good highball, whiskey soda, anything like that. So that's usually a good bet. You usually can get away with that at any bar. So, all right, I'm gonna get some ice and mix this up and put it in this cup with an ice cube, and then we'll move on to my special drink. So bear with me, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna stir this up. And let's see. So hopefully you guys enjoyed some good baseball the last couple nights. There's been some pretty good games and some sad games if you're a Cubs fan. Or if you're a Ryan Kirkeren, then you're a very sad person. I'm gonna strain this into a nice old-fashioned glass with a little ice cube in it. And then you can do orange peel. It says even on the recipe, I believe, but I really like lemon peels mostly. That's orange peels I don't use very often. It's just not my style. So there we go. Nice little lemon peel, and that's a fancy free. It's a good drink if you feel like an old fashioned, but you just kind of want to mix it up. You just want it to have a little curveball in there, which is great. But now that we've got that out of the way, and we mentioned some baseball, we can work our way into the next fine cocktail. The one in honor of Eric, sort of. Here we go, I think, yeah. The Cubs are now out of it. I am now officially on the Mariners bandwagon. And I'm excited for this. I'm excited for you, Eric. I'm sure you're happy, even though I beat you soundly in fantasy, which was awesome. I mean, that just was like a perfect thing. I'm very happy about that. But in honor of these wonderful Mariners and this great run they're having, and Eric, my opponent yesterday, I'm making a cocktail called the Trident. For obvious reasons, it's a good cocktail for the Mariners. Now, the Trident was a drink made in Seattle, of course. It's also a rare cocktail that was invented by a non-bartender. It was some Microsoft tech guy in the 90s who was an amateur home mixologist, much like me, and worked his way into this and nicknamed it the Trident, which is a perfect name, I think. I'm guessing the name comes from one of the main ingredients, which is aquavit, which is a Norwegian spirit that's kind of like makes you think of the sea a little bit, I guess. I don't know. But I like it because, you know, go M's, let's do this. So, this drink calls for, we'll make this nice and quick for you guys, 2 dashes of peach bitters. If you don't have peach, I would use orange. If you don't have orange, use just regular. It's not a huge deal. I don't think it is. And then, this is the best part as always, 1 ounce of everything else. It's a nice equal parts drink. So that would be, I need a different, clean jigger. That is 1 ounce of sherry, dry sherry, which would be like a Fino, or I'm using Amontillado. Depending on where you go and what they have available. That was a little short. Let's do it up. You can get these really great little smaller bottles, sort of like half bottles of sherry, which is perfect for when you want to make cocktails with it. Because, as I explained with vermouth, you know, sherry is a wine, and wine-based spirits tend to lose some of their taste or get a bad taste over time. So you don't want a giant bottle of sherry that you use once a year or something. 1 ounce of the previously mentioned aquavit, which is a very, I like this a lot. I've gotten into a lot of like Swedish, Norwegian type things up here in Minnesota. And and then 1 ounce of Cynar, or whatever kind of bitter Amaro you have. Like a, you guys don't need me to repeat this every time. You know what a Amaro is. All right. Now I'm gonna go put some ice in this thing and mix it up. I'll be right back. Voila, I'm back. Let's mix this Trident up. Oh, to admit, I'm gonna have 2 cocktails to go through here now, which I'm fine with because they're both different enough. But I think in honor of game 1 tonight, it's good to have this Trident ready to go. Calls for it to be strained into a chilled coupe, but you can put it over ice if you prefer. I'm not sure how many of you guys are actually going to go out and get the ingredients for this just for 1 cocktail, although it is a very good cocktail. But I just wanted to do this anyway in the spirit of, you know, I played Eric. I know Eric's really enjoying some good playoff baseball. My Cubs are out of it, and the only team that logically anyone should be rooting for anymore is the Mariners. So here we go. It just like all worked out. A little lemon twist to garnish, and you got yourself a Trident. Go M's! Oh yeah. And gentlemen, go me in fantasy football. It was a nice weekend for that. So enjoy some baseball this week, folks. And I will do my damnedest to be on time with the next one of these. Cheers. Go M's.